I'm reading this from Deborah D'Amico. I hope I got that right, Deborah, because she's a teacher, and I want to give teachers a voice whenever I can, and they truly need to get a lot off their chest now. Yes, sirree. You want the ultimate meltdown from a middle school history teacher who has spent years teaching kids about democracy, checks and balances, and the Constitution, only to watch Donald Trump set it all on fire like a bonfire made of pocket constitutions? Well, here it comes. I've been teaching history and civics for years. I've explained checks and balances. I've taught kids how laws work, how elections function, how the president isn't a king, and how the Constitution matters. I made them learn it. I made them think about it. I made them write critically about it. And then Trump comes back in 2025 and makes me a goddamn liar. I told my students, no one is above the law. Trump skips out on trials, calls judges bias, and gets his people to defy subpoenas like it's a sport. I told my students we have peaceful transfers of power. Trump literally tried to overthrow the government on January 6th, then came back and started purging federal employees like he's rebooting his own damn government with loyalists. I told my students we value the truth in this country. Trump spits out more lies in a single rally than my students do when I ask why they didn't do their work. I told my students the Constitution is the foundation of our democracy. Trump says we should just terminate it if it gets in his way, then starts issuing orders that only he and his attorney general can interpret the law. You know who else did that? Dictators. I told my students elections are fair and votes count. Trump, still whining about 2020 and was ready to pull it again if needed in 2024 like a Vegas slot machine. How am I supposed to teach civics when the man at the top ignores all of it? How am I supposed to tell kids to believe in our system when he treats it like a used car lot with no rules? And let's talk about how he's been acting like a dictator since day one. Mass firings of inspector general, gone. The watchdogs of government accountability, fired. Because oversight is for suckers. Dismantling the Department of Education, because why should kids learn actual history when they can just watch Fox News reruns in school? Eliminating foreign aid, because nothing says world leader like turning your back on the world's most vulnerable. Attacks on the arts, because heaven forbid the National Endowment for the Arts supports anything that isn't a golden Trump statue. Overriding legal interpretations, because apparently the rule of law now depends on whether Trump and his cronies feel like following it. And you know what's worse? They notice. These kids aren't stupid. They come in saying, but Trump did this, but Trump said that. And what am I supposed to say? You're right, kid. Everything I taught you is apparently optional now. I'm exhausted. I am done. I'm ready to just show Schoolhouse Rock and let the songs teach them, because clearly nothing matters anymore. But I can't retire yet, Louis, because I'm on year 29 at age 55, and my state pension is invested in the crapshoot that is the stock market. Hey, at least when I'm 59 and a half, I might be able to get my hands on some of it to pay off my college loans. Because the public service loan forgiveness, which gives you credit for 120 months of payments when I decided to get my second master's degree. And if one more person tells me, oh, but this is just how politics works, I swear to God, I will throw a pocket constitution at their face so hard it will leave an imprint. Because this is not normal. This is not how a functioning democracy works, and I refuse to sit here and let someone flush everything I have taught down the toilet. I need a drink or maybe just a break from reality. Because if I see one more active proof of his dictatorship on day one, I might just start teaching history from the moon. Or is that Elon's now too? Deborah, I want to thank you for that. I know we could talk about what's, where you've kind of gone off the rails with your anger in terms of some of the things you said. And there'll be people who say, well, that's not really true. Doesn't matter if it's really true. You're venting at this point, and you just need to get it off your chest. And I'm really glad you shared it, and you obviously needed to, and I don't know how. What's amazing is you're teaching civics. That's not happening in a lot of places. So there's nobody even with their finger in the dike. You've done it. You've certainly deserved credit.